Dahil nga ba no bearing na para sa FEU ang game nila kontra sa Lasal bukas, ay sigurado nang magkakaroon ng playoff para sa 4th seed. Makakausap natin ngayon ang UAAP analyst si Enzo Plojo at basketball blogger na si Adrian D. Guys, welcome back to the Score Together. It's been a while. Mag-gold games muna tayo ito. Okay, good to see you together. Okay, guys, ito, seryosong usapan. Huge game for De La Salle. The season's on the line. Ano kayang mindset nila, Enzo, going into tomorrow's game with their backs against the wall?
Well, talagang playing for their lives talaga. There's no tomorrow if they lose. So you can expect LaSalle to really, put all their cards on the table, lay everything out there on the floor. I expect that Geronte will probably have a lot of touches tomorrow, definitely play a lot of minutes, take a lot of shots. I expect maybe Coach Juno will probably play maybe a tighter rotation than usual.
Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised if maybe he plays only 9 or at most 10 men. But again, that also depends on how FEU plays.
Right, the flow of the game
FEU
as well.
naman, as I'm sure Adrian will talk about later, parang win or lose, they'll be in the same position.
Yep.
So, hindi mo alam din how to gauge, this FEU team.
Yun yung tricky part dun, Adrian. No?
Yep.
So, guaranteed win or lose, second place ka. But, would you want to go into the Final Four with a 3-game losing streak? Diba, they lost to UST.
Yep.
They lost to the last game against
the
NU.
Bulldogs.
And then you want to lose to LaSalle, going into although may twice to beat ka, but yung bago sa mong momentum.
Especially the way they played in their last game against NU na Mac Bello struggled, other players also struggled. It was really just the Mike Tolomia show that kept them in that game. So, siguro if you're FEU, there's also a sense na you want to see your guys at least play well for maybe half, maybe 3 quarters, just so that you can sort of have that momentum going.
So more
into the
important
game.
than a win is rhythm of the style of play and how the quality of play.
Especially when you consider how FEU plays na, there's a lot of ball sharing, a ball movement. So if we've seen in these past few games na when the chips are down, they suddenly start jacking up 3-point shots. Napapanic sila. So you have a nice situation na it's a non-bearing game against live opponents who, as Enzo said, are really trying to win. So you have a nice situation where you can sort of test out your system and sort of push the right buttons to see if they can respond going into that Ateneo game.
So, Enz, para sa FU, okay lang ba, for example, guys, let's play this game per quarter. Parang, let's win this quarter, lose this quarter. Win or lose the game, okay lang. Iyon ba yung personality ng pagkakilala natin kay Coach Nash?
Nako. Well, si Coach Nash is a competitor.
Yun na nga eh.
So, I don't think, you have guys like Tolomia, maybe Bello also, who might be playing their last elimination round game in their UAAP careers. Maybe they want to bow out on a positive note. May ganung standpoint din. Pero sa kabilang banda, do you really want to risk injuries to these star players going into your Final Four match against Ateneo? Siguro, let's say, if they have a chance to win it, with 5 minutes to go in the game, if they're they're striking distance with LaSalle, maybe they go for the win. But let's say LaSalle gets a big lead on them. I have a feeling na baka FEU might play it safe, pabayaan na nila.
And they let the second stringers do their best pa rin. Pero the second stringers na lang. Ayun, okay. Adrian, let's break it down per matchup. Where do you see LaSalle having an advantage and where they can take advantage of this FEU team?
Well, definitely with inside points. LaSalle is #1 in that category. With Geronteng driving into the paint, finding Prince Rivero, whereas FEU is sort of the opposite, na puro perimeter points. So that sort of inside-out contrast will be definitely key in this game. If LaSalle is able to establish themselves inside, let's say Orizu can't handle Geronteng, like he gets into foul trouble, then I think LaSalle will just definitely keep pounding them. Well, conversely, if FEU is able to establish a rhythm on the outside, maybe throw up a zone to bother LaSalle, then in that case, momentum swings towards the Tamaraw side.
Yan ang interesting point. We've seen them struggle against a zone, and so we've seen them have difficulty na magkaroon ng consistent outside shooting, and they've tried so many other guys na biglang umuhugot na lang sa bench si Coach Juno Soler to see who can click from the outside. How do you see this potential of them struggling against a zone kung isa-zone na sila ng FEU?
Well, yung kailangan talaga i-practice ng LaSalle yung perimeter game nila, perimeter shots nila. Toralba has been inconsistent. Same with Torres, more so with Torres, I think. So yung mga guys like Torres, Toralba, maybe even Caraco to a certain extent, they really need to catch fire. Hindi naman siguro kailangan 15 threes in a game, but they have to maybe at least hit 6, maybe 6 to 8 for them to have a very good chance of beating FEU. Kasi FEU, again, if FEU really plays to win tomorrow, I mean, the first time they met this season, tinambakan nila Lasal.
Right.
So if they want to, they can really pound on the Green Archers.
Okay. If you're the Stars, Mac Bello and Mike Tolomia, would you want to come into the Final Four na may magandang rhythm? Because as you said, they kind of been on and off the last 2 games that they've lost.
Exactly, and I think if you're a championship contender. You want to make up for your loss in the finals last season. So you definitely want to go there with your A game on, with your game face on. Because if not, and FEU sort of has, in these past few games, I mean, they've been losing when we think they should be winning. You definitely don't want to go in and then suddenly Kiefer is shooting another 6 triple first quarter. You don't want that to happen. So if you're Tolomia, if you're Bello, you'll take this game seriously depending on what your coach tells you.
Here's another thing. Let's not forget na merong rivalry ang FEU at Lasal. This dates way back to the Tony Espinosa days, to the Arvin Santos days. There's been a mini rivalry. I mean, of course, the highlight is Ateneo Lasal. But there's a Lasal FEU rivalry. And for some, that first, for whatever it's worth, that may fuel FEU and Lasal tomorrow. And how does that play a factor tomorrow?
Well, a lot of fans from both schools are probably give a lot of value to that rivalry. And we've seen that before 90s, but I'm dating myself, I think. Yeah.
Yes, you are. That's okay. I dated myself more.
But if that rivalry comes to fore and the coaches play it out, like what Adrian said, it all depends on what the coaches say. If the coaches say na, okay, may rivalry tayo dito, may value yan sa atin, we have to win this game, and that's gonna fuel guys like Bello and Tolomia, who admittedly, they can take over any game at this level.
Jeron Teng could be his final year. Finally, ba? Is his final
He has
year
one more playing year.
But
you never know. You never know with
Bello
these
din
things.
yata. Bello also has one
Bello's
more
in a
year.
similar situation.
If Jeron has that in the back of his mind, that he would want to go pro next year, this could be his last game in the UAP. I don't think he wants to go out losing
Definitely.
in elimination round. How does that become a motivation for him?
And I think he would want to show the full range of his game at the same time. Na parang if he is going to go pro, he will say, people might think na I can only just drive. No, so kailangan tumira ng tres, kailangan mag-set up ng teammates ko. So that's also possible. If it's in the back of his head na this could be my last game, I think he will, as mentioned, he will put everything on the platter. He'll throw in all his cards and definitely try to make sure he goes out of the bank. So he could conceivably put up a triple-double.
Wow. Pressure.
Marking you on that.
He could.
For Coach Juno Soler, how much pressure is on Coach Juno Soler? Of course, there's a chitter-chatter around.
Wow, man.
You know naman how there could be, coaching dons and this and that. That's always a possibility in any league, okay? But for Coach Juno Soler, what's on the line for him?
Well, pinag-usapan nga namin ni Adrian kanina, this could be, well, if you parang nasa writing on the wall na, this will probably be Juno Soler's last year as coach of Lasal. Some people are saying maybe Alan Kaidik will step in, maybe Sean Tackensen will step in. A lot of Lasal fans, I know, are not happy with losing to UP, losing to Adamson, and having to fight for the Final Four spot. So a lot of Lasal fans are dissatisfied with him. So that might be the impetus for Lasal to really look elsewhere for the head coach.
Or somewhere down the road on the bench.
Which means
already there.
He really wants to win and prove that I can still win with this team.
So many factors involving tomorrow's game. Should be very interesting to watch. For sure, they're gonna give them, well, at least Lasal. They give it to all. FEU, as you said, because of not wanting to be injured in the Final Four, who knows? But should be a heck of a game as well for UAUP. For Pride, of course, the host would want to come out with a bang, and UE would still want to add to their tally and have more wins on their roster. So guys, salamat. We'd like to meet again. Sabay kayo, Adrian and so always fun with you together. Thanks guys. Salamat.